Last week, city officials in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, met with the purpose of using an ordinance that was passed earlier this summer, which bans indecent behavior, in order to ban all books featuring LGBTQ plus themes. So the vague ordinance prohibits indecent behavior in public and outlaws so-called indecent materials. So now, what does that mean? Well, again, since it's super vague, indecent can mean anything I don't like. In fact, the ordinance states that the local community has the right to establish and preserve contemporary community standards, which would ban behavior that local officials deem to be indecent. The clause used to define indecency links back to Murfreesboro city codes, which describe sexual conduct as indecent. Okay, sure, to an extent. However, the sexual conduct clause includes homosexuality. Yes, that's right. Apparently, in Murfreesboro, just being gay in public is considered sexual conduct, which is not what sexual conduct is. Being gay is a part of who you are. This is what they're doing. I mean, even if you're holding hands with the members of the same sex, apparently that's sexual conduct according to the City Council of Murfreesboro, which really tells you what's in their head. They're fetishizing the LGBTQ plus community. That's pretty messed up. Now, the ordinance also gives police officers the right to enforce bans on so-called indecent behavior under that clause, and states that anybody using city funds for events that fall under indecency can be charged with further crimes. So what this sounds like to me is morality police. That's it, morality police. That's what we have in Tennessee now, okay? Morality police. I mean, what's next? I mean, what's considered, what else is considered to be indecent behavior? A woman having cleavage? Or what about wearing too short of shorts? Hey, I think that's pretty indecent now. You better cover up. What are you going to do if I don't cover up? We're going to throw you in jail. We're going to force you to wear burqas. Again, Tennessee, that's what it leads to. Okay. Either way, it doesn't sound like freedom. I mean, literally have freedom or free in your name, Murfreesboro, but it doesn't sound very free. Now, look, I get that, there are some laws that exist, right? Like, for example, barring people from doing sexual acts in public on the street corner. Okay, I get that. Totally get that. But this is not that, okay? This criminalizes people being gay in public. That's it. That's it. Or if they think that you're not, if they think you're a trans person. So if you're a woman and you're not feminine enough in their eyes, well, they might think you're a trans person and try to criminalize you, even if you're not a trans woman. So think about that as well. All these anti-trans laws, by the way, usually end up affecting cisgender women. So think about that too. Now, according to Pink News, city officials have since used the passed ordinance to target the LGBTQ plus community and also to go after books. In fact, they removed books from the Rutherford County Public Library Board that may contain queer themes. Multiple board members reportedly claimed that they had the right to enforce community standards and ban these books they deem indecent, again, only for possessing LGBTQ plus themes or characters. In August, library board officials decided to remove 4 titles: Mike Corrado's Flamer, Erica Moen and Matthew Nolan's Let's Talk About It, Jennifer Knapp's Queerfully and Wonderfully Made, a guide for LGBTQ Christian teens, and Juno Dawson's This Book is Gay. The board then implemented a tiered library card system where most LGBTQ plus nonfiction could only be accessed through an adult-only library card. So again, what they're doing is that they're classifying LGBTQ plus content as inherently sexual, which it is not. And here's the thing. If again, what they're doing, fetishizing homosexuality, right? Homosexuality is sexual in nature. But wait, wouldn't heterosexuality be classify that as well. It's just the opposite end of the spectrum. That's all it is. I know logic, reason, facts don't apply here. Now, and not only that, but you know, biological evidence as well.
Just forget about the evidence.
Exactly what they say about that. Now, the ordinance first made national headlines after officials attempted to enforce a ban on the Borough Pride Festival back in October, which led to a federal injunction. In fact, a judge was forced to temporarily block city officials from using that ordinance to ban a pride parade. Yeah. Now, the ACLU of Tennessee did file a lawsuit on behalf of the Tennessee Equality Project, which hosted the Pride Festival since 2016. In fact, Tennessee Equality Project Director Chris Sanders said, "We are relieved that the court has taken action to ensure that Murfreesboro's discriminatory ordinance will not be enforced during the Borough Pride Festival." So, look, that's great that the federal government got involved, but apparently it's not stopping this bigoted city council. And look, you know, Tennessee itself, it's no surprise that the state is considered to be one of the worst places in the U.S. to identify as LGBTQ+, according to various human rights groups, including the Human Rights Campaign. So, again, once again, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, not exactly embracing freedom and liberty, are they? Now, independent journalist Aaron Reed has also identified Tennessee as among the worst states for anti-LGBTQ+ legislation, alongside Oklahoma, Kansas, and of course, Florida. He describes state officials as attempting to legislatively erase trans people, which, when you think about it, again, makes absolutely no sense. Trans people make up at most 1.5% of the U.S. population. That's it. Why is it that a small amount of people are living rent-free in the heads of so many people? I don't quite understand it. It doesn't make sense until you realize that trans people are just a convenient scapegoat for these feckless politicians that, you know, really don't do the will of the people. They don't really represent the average voter. And so all these red meat issues get thrown out, and, you know, big conservative media will come out and say, "Oh, yeah, why your life is bad? Trans people exist," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." Wait, how? What did a trans person do to you? Jeez. But again, they don't affect your life in a negative way. You're just trying to live theirs. And as far as pronouns go, using proper pronouns is super easy. You do it all the time. Okay? And for them, it costs nothing for you to do. But when it comes to the person who's actually being addressed the way that they, you know, are, it's life affirming. Calling a trans woman a woman, saying, "Ma'am, that's life affirming." It can literally save her life. And so, I mean, that's what it's all about, respect. That's all it is. And yet you have people that their entire personality is based on disrespecting trans people and gay people, the LGBTQ community at large, which has always and always will exist. And and by the way, if you deny the fact that they exist and that they're a real thing, then you're the one denying reality. And when it comes down to it, these laws, they're deeply unpopular. They're un-American. They're against freedom. If you believe in freedom and liberty, then you should oppose these laws that limit people's, freedom to do what they're going to do and with their own lives and their own bodies. You should oppose all these efforts to erase people and to erase literature that helps people, that's especially young people who are at the most risk of, harming themselves, of self-harm as a result of the bigotry that exists in society at large. You should be condemning this effort to force people to conform to your lifestyle. Certainly, LGBTQ people are not forcing you to conform to their lifestyle. No. But that's what you're doing to them. You're trying to make them conform to a heterosexual, you know, gender normative, whatever lifestyle that you enjoy and you have no problem living and that you don't get discriminated against for living. But for them living their lives, they do. They get discriminated against. They get attacked. They get shamed. They get laws passed against them. Just like this, just like what's happening in Tennessee and so many other places across the United States. That's why this is a big issue. And again, it's because of feckless politicians playing politics with literally with people's lives. No, you have to oppose this. Like again, even if you're not part of the community, you know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a part of the community to help. And if you don't want to help, then just stay out of trans and gay people's way. That's it. They just want to live their lives, so just let them. Leave them alone if you're not going to help them. But for God's sake, do not stand in their way. Justice will be served at one point or another, and people will be free to be themselves.